I spoke exclusively with Starbucks' new CEO, Brian Niccol, as he attempts to turn around the fortunes of the coffee giant. Part of Starbucks' new strategy is to try to make the menu less complex. But I asked him about how he plans to tackle the more complicated drinks, because historically those are some of the highest margin items.
A brewed cup of coffee, that's a highly profitable transaction. And we would be delighted to have more of those happening in our business. And oh, by the way, coffee, probably the best health and wellness drink you can have, based on everything I've read and what I've learned more and more about being at Starbucks. So I think selling the idea that we are committed to coffee and educating people on what we do from the farm all the way to the moment it gets in your cup, I think is going to really excite people. You know, the customization and making the coffee or the drink personally yours, that's something we're going to continue to do. But we are going to put some guardrails on some of the customization, because some of it, frankly, ruins the beverage, and it really ruins the experience for everybody involved. So we have to strike a balance to make sure we protect the integrity of the drink, right, the integrity of the experience, and then get people still that personal experience that they're after.
You're a food guy. You came with a food background. What should the food at Starbucks be? I think this has been a perennial question.
Yeah, look, I would love for people to learn more about what actually goes into our food. And I do think we probably have an opportunity to do less breadth and fewer items better. And, I think we have the opportunity to make the world's greatest croissant. I think we had, I just had some egg bites this morning. They're terrific. So I think we've got some items that we can make brilliantly. And I think we have to eliminate some of the breadth that we have, because some of those are not brilliant.
I think you're going to see a real reduction in the kind of food, or not the kind of food, but just the number of items. And oftentimes, if you know in the display, they only show you like one piece of food that looks like it's been there forever.
Right.
And I think one of the things he wants to do is make it feel fresh, and so you see all of the food.
Yeah.
By the way, Brian and I were talking about his go-to order. He takes a black Americano or a black coffee, but since he started at Starbucks, he says he now enjoys an iced Americano with a vanilla sweet cold foam. We should mention analysts on the street have been tracking the time it took for his turnaround plan at Chipotle to work. They tried to forecast what his plan would look like for Starbucks if they mapped that onto it. I asked him if he sees his work now at Starbucks as easier or harder than what he faced at Chipotle.
Well, I haven't seen the analysis, but look, I give the guys a lot of credit for trying to come to a conclusion. What I would say is, what I'm really excited about with Starbucks is I think most of the issues we're dealing with are very fixable and are in our control. Which was also a lot of the similar challenges I faced at Chipotle. And so, what I'm committed to doing with Starbucks is figuring out where are these pain points, how do we knock those down, get them out of the way, get the right operating model in place, clean up the pricing architecture, share with people again what makes Starbucks so special, and then match it up with a great experience, whether you do it through the drive-through, mobile order, or you come into our stores. And, that is it's a pretty straightforward playbook, and I'm confident that this team and the Starbucks organization is going to be able to deliver on getting back to Starbucks.